as the season unfolds, as the AFC Championship unfolded. Guys went down, but because Patrick Mahomes is committed to having the camaraderie, the
adjustments to his
everything,
game, everything.
Trust,
right.
They know each other well.
That's right.
He was there for the offseason program.
Exactly.
When maybe another quarterback who was breaking in some new receivers wasn't.
The one that's not here.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Brett Veach, the guy who was the architect to getting together all of the folks who are there replacing Tyreek Hill and making the thing go.
I don't think we're making a big enough deal, and I don't mean you and me as a national media, about how special we're seeing a run here of the Patriots. See, I think we've all been a little spoiled because of the Chiefs, by what this is 5 years in a row that there's one team in the AFC that we go, well, we think they're going to be in the final two of the AFC, if not in the Super Bowl, if not holding the trophy up. It's a special run. I think we are spoiled because of what the Patriots did, so we're a little numb to what we're seeing right now here from the greatness of the Chiefs. And then they're doing it their own way, a different way. It's a little more sexy, maybe not exactly the most tried and true perfect formula like New England. But, I think you said a lot of things. I think you and I were one of those that was going, wait, you don't think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense and Andy Reid are going to be okay without Tyreek Hill? To me, I didn't even understand the conversation. All of a sudden Mahomes was looked at as like, oh, he needed Tyreek Hill. None of the stats without Tyreek Hill bared that out. And of course, again, another thing I'll just say I think is being underestimated here is the greatness of Patrick Mahomes in totality already in the history of the NFL. He is already an all-time great. It's year 5. It doesn't matter. He is an all-time first ballot Mike Florio article from the weekend in his own wing in the Hall of Fame with the other guys already, in my opinion. He's truly that special. That's why I think we're seeing a special run. And then you said it, Andy Reid and Veach and what they're doing to continue to sustain it is also amazing as well.
I was doing that exercise with Tom Curran earlier today of NBC Sports Boston, Mahomes versus, at their best, all-time greats.
Yeah.
Favre, give me Mahomes. Montana, give me Mahomes. Elway, give me Mahomes. I mean, we've seen the throwing ability, the running ability, the brain,
the clutchness,
the personality,
right?
Just that will,
the grit,
will that we saw last week in the AFC Championship,
right?
And also against the Jaguars,
yeah.
But nothing is going to keep me out of this game. Nothing's going to keep me from doing what I need to do to carry this team. Yeah, he checks all the boxes. The question now is longevity and championships.
Sure.
And the thing about Mahomes, if he truly wants to get into the conversation with Brady,
right,
you can't blow this chance to get to number 2.
No.
You already had your chance to get to number 2,
right,
and to keep Tom from getting to 7.
Right.
So the gap went from 5 to 6.
Right.
Now you narrow it back down to 5 by getting this one. If you don't get this one, because when are you going to be back in? I think he's 27, 28 years old.
Yeah.
Like, pretty soon we're going to be getting to the point where how many years does he have left?
Yeah.
I mean, before you know it. I mean, the years go by quickly.
Yes.
And he's going to be 10 years in before we know it. How many championships will he have then? How many more is he going to need to be up there with Brady?
Right.
And that's why I'm telling you, I'm already leaning toward the Chiefs because of the urgency that I think Mahomes is going to have to get to number 2.
Yeah.
Because you can't get to here. I'm not good at math, but I will say this. You can't get to 3 until you get to 2. And he wants to get to 3 and to 4 and to 5. He's got to get to 2 this week.
Yeah, agreed with you there. I don't know if he's ever going to catch Brady. But, again, just to, again, you don't know how many chances you're going to get to be here, like you're saying. And he's in a conference that we know right now is going to be a lot harder to get back to the Super Bowl. The conference with those quarterbacks and what they got right now, I don't think it's going to be a given that we can just sit here year after year with Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and everybody else that's in the AFC right now competing, trying to get, a spot at the Super Bowl. But regardless, this is a special run. And I do agree with you, and that's one thing that definitely jumps out to me about the football game. We hit on this a little last week. The Eagles, I think from top to bottom, are better than the Chiefs, but not so much that you think, a play here or handling the pressure, of the moment, or just Patrick Mahomes being one of the greatest players ever in the history of the sport. It evens the scales to where you go, I don't know, I don't give a crap what the sports books say. It's an even pick'em type of football game that way. And here's another thing, Mike, let me just hear if you agree with this. I'm with you. I think the Chiefs have a little fire, hot poker in their butt because they realize the legacy that's at stake here. Mahomes, Reed, Kelsey. Also, I gotta be truthful in the fact that I'd be a little concerned if I'm an Eagles fan or an Eagles player and go, damn, like we haven't really had to play a complete game or play our A game or even play anything competitive the last 5, 6, 7 weeks of the year. That would worry me. I went through that a few times as a player, not that I was ever on a team like the Eagles, but points where you go, man, we're winning, but we're not really playing our best. And, oh, man, if one team catches us on the wrong day, we're going to be in trouble here. And, that worries me is all I'm saying.
Yeah, 69-14 combined score of the two playoff games.
They didn't have to play.
But that's right. It was easy and it was quick and it was a steamroller over the Giants.
Right.
And then the Brock Purdy injury on the opening drive of the NFC Championship. It's not like the 85 Bears.
No, it wasn't like a dominant,
throttling.
You just kicking your butt. Right. Yeah. You felt like it was other circumstances that led to the blowouts, let alone, as we talked about all year, the NFC was not, I don't know, what was it, week 5 when you and I were sitting going, wait, the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys are in a different class than the rest of the conference. We knew that. The Giants, we kept going. Man, how can they continue to sustain this? They're not even in the same class as the Chiefs or the Eagles as far as talent on the football field. So that would worry me about the Eagles. The fact that, hey, you kind of had the number 1 seed locked up towards the end of the year. You had the Jalen Hurts injury. Then the playoffs were kind of 2 stinkers, and you don't get tested and have to play 4-quarter battle-tested playoff football. Again, I'm not saying it's the difference. It's just something that percolates in my brain right now.
And I agree with you completely that dealing with adversity, overcoming obstacles, fighting through, it galvanizes you. It makes you better. It makes you more confident. The experience the Chiefs had against the Bengals will make them more confident, will make them more determined. You don't do justice to what you did to get here if you blow it the next week.
Right.
It creates a greater sense of obligation and confidence that we can go do it. And the Eagles, and I think you're onto something, the Eagles have not really been tested the way the Chiefs have been tested.
It worry me.
And the Chiefs have been tested over and over again all year long, and they were doubted. The Eagles were never really doubted. The Eagles were just kind of like a curiosity that took the NFL by storm right out of the gates.
Right.
They've been praised. They've been
It was a given. We looked at the
runner.
schedule when early in the year, and we were like, I don't know when they're going to lose. They look like they can go 10-1, right? We kind of one of the easier schedules in football. I think you're right. There was a lot of things where they were anointed, and they should be. They were a really good football team that we saw. There was no flaws. But, yeah, there was never that moment where we felt like, man, they really fought through some adversity that time of the year, and they came out on top. A little with the Hurts injury, but not to the extent I think you see a lot of like great Super Bowl teams.
And we don't really know, and we won't know how healthy Jalen Hurts is or isn't because they're not going to advertise it. We don't know what percentage he's at, but it's a serious shoulder injury that he's had for a while now, missed some time, playing through it in pain. You hear every once in a while we get a stray comment from Coach Nick Sirianni about how he's doing, and it just gives you that sense that things aren't as
not
great
totally 100%.
as they could be.
Right.
And we know about the Mahomes ankle, but we still see him out there moving around on it, doing just enough when he needs to do what he needs to do.
And this is
to
2
make
weeks.
It happen.
Like he's gonna be moving better in this game, which he'll need to be. But again, we always, that's the other thing too. Hey, the Eagles, this pass rush, it's really good, but damn, this is an O-line that can protect. We saw that in the championship game with a gimpy Patrick Mahomes. That's another area where you go, well, Eagles have usually a great advantage over most teams they play in that department. I don't think they're going to have a great advantage there. There's a lot of great storylines about the game here.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.